All right, and we're live. How's everybody doing? It's Saturday night, late in late in the night. But listen, this is my first live stream here, and I'm not gonna be taking any comments or any chats or anything like that. I'm just gonna come on here and talk a little bit about some gear. If you guys have had an opportunity to check out some of my other videos, they're just random stuff that I come up with. Uh, just various effects and pedals and some live performances and just some fun stuff. Trying to keep it fun. And, you know, my name is Guitar Mijo 78. I play guitar. My last name's Armijo, and I was born in 78. But my name is Joaquin Armijo. And I'm from, you could say, California, Southern California, Los Angeles, suburb right outside of Los Angeles called Whittier. And I play in an acoustic band, an electric band. I've done recordings. I went to recording school, went into MI and out in Hollywood. And I played nylon string guitar most of my life. And over the past 7, 8 years, I've really just gotten back into the electric guitar. And just jumping here on YouTube. And just really want to just talk and have fun. And if anybody has any ideas on topics or changing lights, it'd be greatly appreciated. Today, I wanted to come up with this little piece of gear right here. This is the Quilter Interblock 45. Quilter. This is a power amp, by the way, and a balance line out speaker simulator. We'll get to all that good stuff in a minute. And so is this $25, $229. And you know what's going to happen tonight is I'm just going to chat about it. I'm just going to chat about it and my experiences with playing in small clubs, small restaurants, playing in the era that's not friendly to amplifiers, that's for sure. And being able to be heard. One of the biggest compliments that we always get is, you guys sound just like the CD. It's like, hey, yo, we sound just like Pandora. Or how about, we sound just like, what is it, what else is out there? Whatever else is out there. Just like the iPod. You know, we get that a lot. Of course, we're a cover band based out of Orange County. And it doesn't take a whole lot of doing, but, you know, one of the main things that we strive for is good sound. You know, everybody out there wants to be heard as a guitarist. It's important to understand my place in the mix. I just want to understand my place in the mix. It took me a long time. 42. I started playing guitar when I was 13. Acoustic guitar, nylon, steel string. And, you know, when you're young, you just want to rock out, man. And I was rocking out just for a long time, you know, until you get yourself in a situation where you have to be heard, but not loud. You know, not turning up to 11, not playing with the drummer. You know, you get yourself in these situations where it's sometimes better just to plug in. Checking the reverb, I think I'm gonna lower it. And you get yourself in these situations where you can lower the master, you know, and still be heard. It's an era of in-ear monitors. We live in an era of the Kemper. We live in an era of bands going on stage and doing Pro Tools all the way, 100%. You know, um, it's just a sign of the times, and the gear reflects it. All the new products coming out, Sweetwater, you know, all these new products that are coming out. The Line 6, HX Stomp, the Helix, they're all being geared towards towards the player that can't be up on stage rocking out, which is most of us. This is not the first piece of gear, nor is this the first piece of gear that I bought. I think the first piece of gear, when you're talking about amplifier simulations, speaker simulation, first piece of equipment I had was, I think, a Roland or a Boss. I don't remember the name of it. It was a double. It was a double pedal. It was one, but it was a double pedal. It was called something. It was black and gold. It was a Boss something 20. It was basically had a choice of like a. It didn't say Fender, and just, you know, but it was a piece of gear. It wasn't. It was. I guess it was digital. It had amp simulation, but it was meant to be put in the front end, right? It was like an effect pedal. It was like an effect pedal, right? It was meant to be put into the front end of the amp, and I didn't realize that, so I was going into the PA. I also bought one of those. I think it was a pod way back in the day, and I didn't know what to do with it. It was too complicated for me, I guess. Then I got a Magic Stomp, Yamaha Magic Stomp, which I still use today. I use it for the effects, and it also has some preamp settings. You know, but it wasn't until they came out with cab simulation is when things started turning around. For example, this is a $25 unit, right? And it's also a DI box. But Behringer, you can get, it's a Tweed amp sound. You can also get a Mesa Boogie and a Marshall amp out of here. So this is, it says V-Tone guitar amp modeler driver DI. So this has a little bit of a cab simulation coming out of the XLR. This also has some microphone placements on the corner and the center, and maybe like a vintage setting. And I was putting my pedals through this, and it you know, it does a job. It does the job. Something like this is really next level. It's next level in a sense that it's actually an amp. You see right there, it says do not connect to other pedals, speaker only. It also says right here 45 watts and a 4 ohm, 33 watts and a 8 ohm, and 17 watts and a 16 ohm. Okay, right here, FR and cab. That's probably a 112-inch speaker. Okay, most likely. And then you got the FR, which is a flat response, and which is basically like a flat sound because it's in correspondent to this other EQ. You got a vintage setting, which is kind of like a deluxe, 65 deluxe Fender, and then you have a EQ, full EQ, full Q. Quilter, of course, is the gentleman from QSC Speakers. I think his name is John Quilter. His gear is not cheap. but he's a fascinating guy. He's got long white hair, and he's into like Volkswagen Beetles and just all kinds of stuff. And the thing is that what I've noticed about pieces of equipment like this, okay, is that this is pedal platform, so you can put your pedals in here. Now this is different than the Kemper or the Line 6 HX Stop. This is different because this is something disposable right at your feet, and you can change the EQ. Okay, right here it's even got a headphone jack or a balance line out, and what do you know, an effects loop. If you know how to use an effects loop, you can definitely use it to your advantage. You can use it just as a power amp. You can bypass the EQ, going just straight into there. Boom. You can take it as a line out, obviously to go in reverbs or a unit, a rack effect unit. And but something like this is mainly used as a clean platform, right? Get a vintage sound. It's even said if you put it on the full Q and the FR mode, you can put some keyboards in here, acoustic guitar, something that has just something that you would plug straight into a mixer. All right, and it's made in the USA, Costa Mesa. Costa Mesa is maybe like, I don't know, about less than an hour from here, driving distance, maybe 45 minutes. It's pretty light. You can put this on your pedal board. I'm trying to build something around this. I have a lexicon unit. Check. As a matter of fact, that's what you're hearing right now. Test 1 2. I think that's a sample of the check right now. The old PCM 60 lexicon. This is a small room, and that's one where you just press the buttons. Will lower the reverb. Go back to 4%. So, yeah, I'm gonna do something with this. I found it at Guitar Center for it was $140 after tax out the door. Check. It was like a clearance item. So, yeah, clearance. I think somebody brought it back. 24 volts DC, 3 amps. That's 3,000 milliamps. And it's got a block. So it's got this bad boy here. Okay, it's got this bad boy, this connects, this, and then this, this is what connects to the wall. This is like one of those powered speakers and whatnot, right? So it's heavy duty, man. It's heavy duty. Please leave comments. Man, that would be cool. This is the new gear forum, YouTube, where we just sit down and we just talk about nerdy stuff. I heard someone say that there's always somebody in that band. He's the rocker, or he's the metalhead, or, and then you meet other people that are that person in that band, and you nerd out. Right here's soul food, and so this is targeted as a clone, right? Let's see if I have light it up here. So if you notice, See. If you notice, it's got a, orange glow. So it's Alchemy audio mod. It's an Alchemy audio mod. And I guess what they did is that they opened it up and it cost me about $45 for the mod, and new this is like $60. And so I guess they went in there and put some germanium diodes and made it more typical to what the original Klon sounds like. This is heavy duty, man. I mean, I put that volume right here, baby. Like, whoa. I mean, that volume is low. There's a lot of volume, man. There's a lot of the drive, man. You just gotta keep the drive up. And it's like bang. It's like it's not so much a saturated like a metal zone pedal or a what you think of a chug, chug. It's like, man, it's you hit it, man, and it's unmistakable. It's very amp like. Like a heavy amp though, maybe like not like a metal, not like a Eddie Van Halen sound. This is definitely more like a classic rock sound. I guess the latest and greatest thing, but people buy Klons and they put it real low and they use it as a boost. But this thing's meant to like smash, you smash it. And it wasn't easy for me to use this as a solo pedal. This is kind of like you put it on the bridge and just hammer out power chords, man. So the difference with this is that I could put this into this, and it'll respond like an amp would. I did put pedals into this once upon a time. And I guess if you're in a pinch, or if you don't know the difference, or I guess it's easy to get in a rut and say, hey, you know what, it doesn't really make a difference to me. This is what I'm recording everything on. I have two of them actually. This has been a handy little friend to me over the years. Runs on batteries, and this is great. I mean, this is just, this almost teaches you how to record. It teaches you about input levels. Teaches you a little bit about mixing. It's a little noisy, but for the price, this is so portable, so handy. So, where was I going with this? Okay, so this needs its own power, right? I'm not sure if maybe if there's a power source like the Zuma or the Ojai or Voodoo Labs makes a power source. But yeah, you're gonna have to find something that has 3 amps, like just a little something to review. Okay, what we got here? Well, one spot, wall wart, right? Okay, it says that it is 9 volts, right? DC 1700 milliamps, which is a lot. I am currently running my pedal board with this, okay, with certain pedals, with the majority of the pedals, with 85% of the pedals. I'm running it with the one spot. Okay, you can't use it with this. This is 1,000 milliamps is 1 amp, so this is like 1.7 amps, right? This needs 3 amps, but it needs 24 volts, and so this is not for this. You don't want to put it in there. This on the other hand, you'd be surprised. I put a meter. The True Tone makes a meter as well. This takes about 25 milliamps. All right, something like this takes like 3, and then this takes 3,000. This may take a little more. I don't know, 8, whatever it is. My mini wah, it doesn't even read. It's not even 1 milliamp. It's some of they're just like that, I guess. Let's see. Don't get discouraged when you first start plugging in and playing, and it takes time, and there's a lot of various here, I got some more pedals here. Let me just get them real quick. Pedal train. Oh. This is my pedal train Nano. So this fits about 4 pedals. This is a Silver Pony Alchemy Audio clone of a I think a clone. The silver one. This is also Super Boss Super Overdrive, 1985. Alchemy audio. It's got also an Alchemy audio mod. It's got a switch. This is a Carlin Pure Sky. It's called. It's an overdrive pedal. This is a Greer special request, kind of a D-style Dumble style overdrive. Gives it mids. I put something together like this. This is like a little practice board for me. And maybe I'll set it up with this. I have another pedal board. Set it up like this. Put some headphones in there. These are all 9 volts. And part of the thing is that you get your ear accustomed to certain tones over the years, and what I've noticed is all this is compressed music off albums and CDs and whatnot. And so, you're hearing studio like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm a big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. Who isn't, right? Tube screamer into a clean amp, into a double amp, into a super reverb, into a Vibrolux, all these. He's driving the amps. He's basically driving the amps with the pedals. He's giving them a better EQ boost or whatnot. So I guess what we're trying to do is buying gear like this and messing with these and putting different pickups in our guitar. It's just a different generation. It's a different generation now. We're somewhere else. As a matter of fact, I sometimes use this. I put my headphones in. I've practiced through this hundreds of times. But it gives me a sense of a flat EQ and a sense of what it may sound like recorded and what it may sound like through a mixer or front of house. And of course, a mixer or the front of house, they decide what to do with it. Like that, for example, that might serve as an inner ear monitor mix for me. And over time, you grow a little more sensitive to that, because It's not as easy as it seems. You really have to be in tune to what your band sounds like. I hear this from the worship music community. Um, Sunday morning, Sunday morning crowd, and their sounds are very, very specific. I mean, you look at some of these guys' pedal boards, and their pedal boards are very elaborate, very much like they're taking a studio. They got the campers, and not only the campers, they got the full rig. They got the laptop out. Let me lower the fan. And they have everything to give them an advantage regarding. Um, I don't know if it's necessarily wanting to make it sound like the album. That might be part of it, because it's not easy. It's not easy to recreate your sound that you find in the studio, that you find on a recording. And you can't cheat. You can't take the easy way. You can't take the easy way, because if you take the easy way, then it just bites you in the butt. Bites you in the butt in the end. What I mean bites you in the butt is that you're playing live, and all of a sudden, no, something doesn't sound right. What do they say? It's a catch-22. Not only is it catch-22, it's it's stressful. I don't know if we're pigeonholing ourselves. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a great example that I've come to understand. So I also play acoustic guitar, and you could say the same. You could probably say the same for acoustic guitar. I play nylon string, right? So the nylon string guitar, like a flamenco guitar player, right? The difference between a classical guitar player and a flamenco guitar player is night and day, right? How do you get both guitars to sound the same? Well, you could use the same microphone, but the dynamics are just, the touch sensitivity from a traditional classical guitarist, and it's completely different. It's got, there's no two ways about it. So the solution was microphone simulation. Microphone simulation. One of the best examples that I can think of that is the Yamaha Stop. Okay, acoustic guitar stop. There's been different ones. The one that preceded that was the Magic Stop. But this unit's about this big. It's got about 4 buttons on the bottom. Kind of looks like one of those Line 6. It's brown, it's gold. Okay. You had various microphone settings, condensers, dynamic, and at the very end of that was nylon string. Okay. One was, and I want to say that it's more than one microphone. So you have a piezo pickup under the saddle that sounds very quacky, and it sounds nothing like your guitar. So in a perfect world, everybody wants to mic their acoustic guitar in the studio. So this is it's the same thing. You're plugging in your input, your output from your guitar from the piezo pickup, and you're going straight in to the AG stop, and then out of the AG stop into your mixer. So there's a blend knob. You can blend a little bit of the piezo, 50%, 100%, 90%, Let's see, how can I explain this where it's very, very direct? So yeah, this is tough, man. Because I don't know the details. So it's not it's not so much your guitar sound anymore. It's not your guitar anymore. Once you plug it in there, I mean, it is, but because of the piezo, it's not, you know, I don't use a microphone inside my acoustic, right? So once it hits a piezo, it's something else. It's just a signal. It's just a signal. I guess it's kind of like this, but this is electric guitar, so it's different. But this is very similar. You know, it's like the cab, right? Right. It's not so much your guitar anymore. It's like, or your amp, because this is the amp EQ, but now you're going through the cab, right? So now you can do that and just use the preamp, right? And that's probably the best way I can describe it. But when you hit it here, now you're using the cab, right? So now it's the speaker. Now it sounds like your guitar through the preamp through a speaker, and that changes everything, right? It's a different sport. So the nylon string, it's like a I want to say that it's a combination of microphones, and I wanted to take it a step further, and I want to say that it's I don't know. It's like someone. It's like a guitar. It's like a simulated classical guitar, like a Torres, right? So I think it's like a Torres or a real expensive guitar. So now you're hearing someone else's classical guitar. Does that make sense? So you're probably hearing a Torres or like a I don't know, something else. I used to have a Line 6 guitar. It was an acoustic 300 nylon string. It was a Variax, and one of the settings, one of the settings was a Torres, and the other settings was like a Manuel Vasquez or something like that. I don't remember the name. A flamenco guitar, and then you can. I have a video about that. Go check it out. You can adjust between the different, and they were totally different. One was a flamenco made out of maple, and the other one was Torres classical guitar made in 1867. It was completely different. So there comes a point where you EQ, your ear gets bent. Your ear really gets bent to hearing that sound, like how you hear it out of the sound hole, right? And so that's probably the best way that I can explain this. For those that are not familiar with direct out amplifier simulation, yeah, this isn't like the Helix or the HX Stop or the Kemper. Those are IRs. Those are actual speakers. What does the Kemper do? The Kemper, right? It imitates. It records signals from other amps, and it imitates. It, right? And it also has effects on there, but it has various speakers on there, but actual speakers that were previously recorded, and that's the best way I can describe the Yamaha Stop. It's like you're playing through someone's guitar. You're actually playing someone else's guitar. Now, even though your classical guitar sounds different through a piezo, it's very similar. I'm sure there's a compression there, and there's a way where all these guitar, different classical guitars that are plugged in there do definitely sound different. Especially if it's a thinner guitar, or, a requinto or something else. Anyways, I think I'm going to keep it right here, right about 35 minutes for my live stream, which is something I wanted to try to do tonight. Check out the lighting and the sound, and hopefully the reverb's not too much. I'm going to try a few different things in audio. I'm going to bring my mixer next time. But happy Saturday night. Subscribe. I got a Venmo at Joaquin Armijo. If you guys want to help me out, see what's up. We're just going to buy more gear anyway, right? I got some other videos, and I think the next live stream I do, I think I'm going to build something with this, and I'll talk and I'll play guitar at the same time. All right, good night, and keep playing.